Okay, seriously, we're back and we have to finish up the lesson. We've got taken quite a lot of time with some of the issues, and I also wanted to maybe go to the Facebook page and show you a few things. But first, let's get to these modals because this is the subject of the lesson. Everything else is, good, but we have to cover the subject of the lesson. So we have the modal guitar cages. How do you play these guys on cello? So what are these guys, first of all? Okay, so since I'm down tuned to a C, my C is right here. So this would be root and the key is C. So the long E, there's the E, E, R, 2, 3. Okay, R, 2, 3, and the E, we call it the E string shape, long. Don't worry about the D is part of it is included. I could call it the E, D, R, C, 2, 3, but I call it the E, R, 2, 3. It's root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4. Right there. Now the next cage over, okay, no sharing. The next cage over that owns its own territory is what? E goes to C. Now I just want to show you something briefly with the short patterns. With the short E, we got, of course this is sunken, but we got 7 root 2 to 2, 3, 4, like this. Then we skip a string shape, 3, 4, 5, if we're rolling it out. But we have a 3, 4, 5, we have the CA string shape right here. Okay, what I can do is show you that. Copy that. Whoop. I didn't want to cut that out. I wanted to copy it. So here's our 3, 4, 5 string shape, and it should be fairly simple. I don't know if this is going to fly here. Let's see what we got. So we've got 2, 3, 4. Wow. Okay, let's take this back a second. We pretty much just have our 3, 4, 5, 7 root 2. Okay, string shape here. And then, so this is in the long ones now. Okay, this is cello. Oh, no wonder, it's cello. I'm sorry, I was trying to show you that we do have this here, but it's not gonna count 3, 4, 5. Okay, unless we have the double string shape. So all we're really grabbing here is from 3 to 5 diagonally. Copy that, and I'll show you how this is done here when we want to demonstrate something. Now we're going to scope this out. 3, 4, 5 here. Now notice we're going to put the same exact thing there. There it is, see? So there's a C-A string shape right there. You can see it fits right in, but I've rolled it out to show it, give each one of them, so it's actually in like the pattern there. Now watch, I'll put it back. Okay, and we just lost the little accidentals there. The pattern is just like caged. E, D, skip a letter in caged, then 2 letters of caged, then skip another letter in caged. So you see the word caged here. And then 2 letters, start caged over again, skip a letter in caged. So you see it's got a pattern there. Okay, so that's what I needed to show you guys that we didn't get to. So let's look at those. So remember, we've got our guitar patterns here. Okay, and remember this I guess I'm having a little trouble getting this tippy top of the screen here. Remember, it's not caged anymore in modals. It's C3, then C3, C4, and then A5, and then G6, and then E7. Okay, then ER, and then D2. Okay, those are the modal string shapes. Notice they advance by one. There's overlapping and they advance. So any note that you start on, you can play any mode at that note. Here's an F. You want to play an F Lydian. 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root. Whoa. Didn't want to hit that B flat there. Alright, so if it was a B flat. So that's a little review of the guitar. Now let's look at what it spells out. Now let's look at what it spells out in the cello. Oh my goodness. It's no longer caged. It's not KGs. It's CA, 4CA, 5AG, GE, ED, RED. Ooh. It's yellow red. And then DC. How do we play those? Well, I'll show you. The CA is going to be, now remember, this is in the key of G now. So C is going to be 3, 4, 5. So it'll be something like this. Okay, so it'll be okay, like that. That should be what it is. It sounds like it's a little flat. Let me see. Alright, my bad there. So the C string shape in cello, 3, 4, 5. Alright, and that's going to be, it's going to sound like that. Okay, because I've down tuned the cello. And then the A, so we're going C to A. It's 3, 4, 5, 5, 6. And then 4, we know where 4 is going to be. We're going up a half step each time. 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. That's your long A. Okay, so that's the CA actually to the long A, but it's, yeah. Alright, so we're at the long A there. Alright, I had to do a little adjustment. Yeah, this is the, now the CA here, the original, 5, 6. Remember, each one of them on the cello is going to only be 4 notes long. So we've got the short C to the short A. This is wonderful. We've got the short A and the long A in the same modal build. Then we do 4C, 4, 5, 6, and then 5, 6, 7. So that's it, the 4C, 5A string shape in cello. Alright, then we're going to do 5A to G. Okay, I'm going to put vertically 5A to G, okay. Then we're going to do G to E, 7 root 2 to short E. Okay, then we're going to do E to D, to D. 1, 2, 3. Now notice that long one is a double string shape. Alright, and then we're going to do RED. Just like that, and then D to C. But we've got one with 5 notes right here, E to D. We're going to look at that in a second. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's in the modal build. And by the way, that gives us some drift, gives us some shape fitting. Let's look. Okay, so here's our ED string shape, 7 root 2, 2, 3. Okay, we got a problem. That's not a proper cage. Okay, we're back. I bumped up the saturation a little bit, messing with the video settings. We're having a problem with losing the video here when I zoom in. But let's talk about this, and let's look at this. We have the Locrian and the Erie. We've added the Erie. Whoa! And then the video disappears. Like what's up with that? Okay, here I am, but I'm not here. So what's up with that? I don't know. Let's just go with this, and we'll continue on. Talk about I had made a mistake. I had 7 root 2. I had E and then to D there, and it wasn't, because the cage, the Locrian cage, stops there. It has to count. It has to count 7 root 2. Alright, so this is the famous, but Andy's not, and getting video credit for it. Well, that's too bad. That's the way it goes. There's obviously a little technical mistake there. So instead of caged, we're going to have modal, cello, fiddle here. We're going to have CA, and then 4C, 5A, and then 5A, G, and then GE, then ERE, then RED, and all that stuff. Okay, so how are we going to do this now? Because we want to see the video, right? So how are we going to do that? All right, so this is how we're going to do this. Lovely view of the lake from decades ago, or at least 10-15 years ago, visiting up at Grandma's. So anyway, we're looking at the cello here now. We're gonna go through the modal. Remember, we did the modal on the guitar, right? So we started with root 2 3, then 2 3 4, then 3 4 5, then 4 5 6, 5 6 7, 6 7 root, 6 7 root, 7 root 2, root 2 3. Those are the modal string shapes. Now on cello, okay, so what this spells is CCAGEED. Now why are there 2 E's? Because there's E short, 7 root 2, and then there's E long, root 2 3. So I just call it E long. Okay, instead of calling that like root or something, because it's still basically in the E string shape, and from the E string shape you can pretty much play it in the short, so we give it the E. Let's look at what the cello turns out to be, and I guess I'm going to play it vertically for you. This is why we had to have the video on this. I realize I can't just talk in the background. So we've got C, like that, C string shape to A. This is A short. Okay, so it's 3. Now these string shapes are longer string shapes, and they're connected. So this is one string shape here, CA. Okay, so it's CA, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then we go to 4C5A, which would be 4, 5, 6, 7, because we have 4 is 4, 5, 6, and 5 is 5, 6, 7. Then we go 5, 6, 7 to G, which is 6, 7 root. 5, 6, 7 root. Like that. Okay, let's pick up the G over here. On this string, we got GE, 6, 7 root 2. Short G, 6, 7 root. Every long pattern has a short section of it, 7 root 2. Okay, then we get to the Erie one. So we got 7 root 2, root 2, 3. And then we have root 2, 3, 2, 3, 4. Then 2, 3, 4, 3, 4, 5. So those are the modal they're not full double string shapes, but they're the modal cello